Hello dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Glorious Shorthand Dictation. I am going to give you a dictation of the Hindu editorial page at the speed of 100 words per minute. So be ready for the dictation. Get ready. Start. The lingering COVID-19 crisis is a good time to revive an issue that is oddly slow to come to life in India: universal health care. Meanwhile, UHC has become a well accepted objective of public policy around the world. It has even been largely realized in many countries, not only the richer ones, minus the United States, but also a growing number of other countries such as Brazil, China, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. Some of them, such as Thailand, made a decisive move towards UHC at a time 20 years ago when their per capita GDP was no higher than India's per capita GDP today. The time has come for India, or some Indian states at least, to take the plunge. The basic idea of UHC is that no one should be deprived of quality health care for the lack of ability to pay. This idea was well expressed in archaic words, perhaps by Anurian B1, the fiery founder of the National Health Service in Britain. No society, he said, can legitimately call itself civilized if a sick person is denied medical aid because of lack of means. The same idea inspired the Bohr Committee report of 1946, where a case was made for India to create its own NHS type healthcare system. In concrete terms, UHS typically relies on one or both of two basic approaches: public service and social insurance. In the first approach, healthcare is provided as a free public service, just like the services of a fire brigade or public library. If this sounds like socialist thinking, that is what it is. Interestingly, however, this socialist project has worked not only in communist countries such as Cuba, but also in the capitalist world well beyond the United Kingdom. The second approach allows private as well as public provision of health care, but the costs are mostly borne by the social insurance funds, not the patient. So the result is similar. Everyone has access to quality health care. Social insurance is very different from a private insurance market. The simplest variant is one where insurance is compulsory and universal, financed mainly from general taxation and run by a single non-profit agency in the public interest. That is how it works in Canada, province-wise, and to varying extents in other countries with national health insurance, that is Australia and Taiwan. This single payer system makes it easier for the state to bargain for a good price from healthcare providers. But some countries have other models of social insurance based for insurance on multiple non-profit insurance funds instead of a single payer. Germany is one example. The basic principles remain: everyone should be covered and insurance should be geared to the public interest rather than private profit. Even in a system based on social insurance, public service plays an essential role. In the absence of public health centers dedicated not only to primary health care but also to preventive work, there is a danger of patients rushing to expensive hospitals every other day. This would make the system wasteful and expensive. As it is containing costs is a major challenge with social insurance because patient and healthcare provider have a joint interest in expensive care, one to get better, the other to earn. One possible remedy is to require the patient to bear part of the costs, a co-payment in insurance jargon, but that conflicts with the principle of UHC. Recent evidence suggests that even small co-payments often exclude many poor patients from quality health care. Another challenge with social insurance is to regulate private healthcare providers. Here, a crucial distinction needs to be made between for profit and non profit providers. Non profit healthcare providers have done great work around the world, including the US, where most hospitals were non profit institutions just a few decades ago. For profit healthcare, however, is deeply problematic because of the pervasive conflict between the profit motive and the well being of the patient. This calls for strict regulation if for profit healthcare is allowed at all. Today, most countries with UHC rely on a combination of public service and social insurance. For all we know, however, the NHS model based on plain public service may be the best approach. Private non-profit healthcare can be regarded as a form of public service, and private for-profit healthcare tends to defy discipline. A vibrant NHS is hard to beat. Stop.